What's going on, fellas? It's another C, Boogie. Y'all know the rest. I want to salute you guys for subscribing to the channel. I also want to thank you guys for liking the videos. Shout out to the Dime Game Division. Alright, let's get into this video, man. But y'all bear with me a little bit, man. My allergies kicking my ass this morning. But we gonna push through. But shout out to my boy JW, man. One of my longtime subscribers. Just a real good brother, man. A real good dude. Just a solid individual, man. And, we was chopping it up the other day. And so I told him, I was like, look, dog, it might be time for you to start a channel. Because I want to keep this Dom game shit alive even when I'm not around. It might be time for you to sit back and tell your story the way you want to tell it. And I can just kick my feet up and listen to you every day and shit. So we'll see what happens with that. But look, I told guys the beginning of the year it was about gains. And then we started to get into some real self-actualization, man. Standing in front of that mirror, being honest with ourselves. And once you stand in front of that mirror, give yourself a proper appraisal, then to be honest, man, my mission is really complete. The only thing left is to do the work. If it's any work that need to be done. Or if you're pleased and you're satisfied with what you're looking at in that mirror, then it's all about maintenance at that point. So that's pretty much my thing, man. I'm like, shit, I ain't gonna be around forever. I'm 32 years old, man. I'm really out here living, man. And to be honest, this shit has really exceeded my expectations. The Dom game and the whole hydration movement, that shit is global, man. I got guys hitting me up from all over, man. Australia, Asia, the islands, Africa, wherever, man. Telling me they hydrating. I'm hydrating, Boogie. And I already know what that means. So if I was to rewind for a second, everybody know, man, I started off making videos because I was bored, man. The summer before last, you dig, I was sitting in the house with a cast on my leg. I think I had a cast for about 8 weeks. And then I had the walking boot. Yeah, about 8 weeks, I think. 6 to 8 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Then I had the walking boot for another 3 weeks or so. So the point was, I was bored than a motherfucker, man. And I just uploaded a video one day. And I just uploaded a video every day for maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And a couple of videos caught the algorithm. It was some videos that I least expected. And I kind of just worked this thing from there. Kind of just worked it and worked it and worked it. And I had some help for some other guys too. Shout out to them. Getting on panels and things of that nature. Kevin Samuels was the first person that did an interview with me, and we talked about some things that was important to me, mental health and, keeping all that shit intact. So, like I say, this shit really exceeded my expectations. I never set out to be a YouTuber and never was my thing. Before this, I was just out here living these stories that I tell people. I was living a life that I talk about on this device. Woke up every day, I was living. I wasn't worried about if I was select, non-select. I wasn't worried about if I was this guy or that guy or putting myself in any kind of label or box. I was happy with my life and I was living it every day. And the people that know me personally, they can vouch for me, man. I'm really this guy. So that's just what it is. So, like I say, the way I live my life, I'm really mission oriented, man. Everything that I do, I know I'm there on assignment. I don't stick around places for long. And that has its benefits, but it has its downside too, But in all reality, man, I'm all about the mission. And this mission, really for the season, I should say, but the mission of the season is, really get into some self-actualization, man. And once that mission is complete, it's off to the races, man. Got a couple more things I want to get out there to the world. But other than that, man, I ain't really studying this shit like that, man. This shit don't make me or break me, dog. So, finish with that. Let's get into the message, though. The times in your life where you're going to feel like you that dude, where you that nigga. And if guys really watch my content, I talk about keeping a balance in your life. The 4 quadrants of your life. Try to keep them as balanced as possible. And, you got your health, your mental health, your diet, that's 1. Think you got your family, your friends, and your love life and all of that. That's 2, that's 2 quadrants. And then the 3rd is, your finances, your money, your professions, your schooling, your certifications. That's 3. And then number 4 is, your spiritual health. So I feel like if you can keep those 4 quadrants as balanced as possible, as level as possible, man, your cognitive output is going to be very positive, what you're pumping into the world, But that's going to start on the inside of you. So yeah, you're going to feel like you that dude. You're going to feel like you that nigga. It's a real quiet type of confidence. But if I had to give you an example of feeling like you that dude, check out Muhammad Ali in his prime. You couldn't tell Ali nothing. Mike Tyson in his prime. Michael Jordan in the Game 6. Check out Neil deGrasse Tyson when he talking about outer space. Or whatever, right? Y'all can give your own examples. But when you just got that confidence and nobody can even tell you who you are, you already know. When you walk into a room, you already know you a subject matter expert on something. You already know that you can contribute to something. You dig? Because you're pumping out grade A energy. And I've had plenty of times in my life where I just felt like I was that nigga. I'm be honest. And I think everybody should have this attitude. And just like I told guys, man, around the time where I was 24, 25, and 26, when I was really just working out twice a day, my body was fucking immaculate. I wouldn't miss the gym for anybody, dog. But, my body was in real good shape. And yeah, man, got a lot of attention from the ladies at that time. But also, it wasn't just that, though. We got to keep in mind, my money was right. I just graduated college. My money was actually really good. Just graduated. My family was situated. Kids was good. Traveling all over the place. So a lot of things in my life at that time was balanced. And everything was clicking. And I was putting out grade A energy, man. And people was attracted to that energy. Not just women, but it was just people in general. Just wanted to hang out with me, And that was a sign that my energy was good at that time. Because that's really the only way that you know if your energy good, by the people that you attract. Pardon me. By the people that you attract in your life. If you attracting a whole bunch of unsavory characters, then you might want to check your energy. But if you got some real good people around you, man, and some real good women around you, and people respect you, man, and people actually care about you when they checking on you when you're sick, and they don't hear from you in a while, but they call you anyway and leave a voicemail and whatever, stop by your house. Yo, man, you in a real good mental place in your life, man. You putting out grade A energy. Grade A energy, man. And not to say that, every day is a good day for me, because I would be lying to the public. But as long as I can keep more good days than bad days, I'm good with that. Because I know life ain't fair. In the same way that I tell other guys that life ain't fair, I'm the first person that I tell life ain't fair. I might hold that mirror up, but I'm the first person that's going to stand in front of that mirror. I might tell my troops, yo, we got a mission to go to. We got a mission to go on. Let's go. But I'm the first person off that Black Hawk. I'm the first guy out that Humvee. I'm the first guy on that 50 cal. I got to do it. I can't talk this shit and don't live this shit, man. You know, that's a fucking stone cold hypocrite, man. I don't believe in that do as I say, not as I do type of shit. Nah, man. You know, I gotta live this shit. You know, so back to what I was saying. Back to that quiet confidence, man. You know, it's really a quiet kind of confidence, man. You don't have to be loud with it. You know, and I brought up guys like Ali and Michael Jordan, but those guys are entertainers, right? So they get paid to put on the show. But just for the average guy, you know, it's a quiet confidence, man. And it's a confidence that you can't fake. Because when you really come around a guy that's really that dude, then you're going to be exposed. So if I had to give you an example, I remember back in the day when Ray Lewis was like the king of Baltimore. Me and my boys was in the club and, you know, we popping bottles and buying shots for motherfuckers at the bar. We had this crowd of people around us, man. Chicks is grinning, bitches is teethy, all that. Nigga, Ray Lewis walked through that club. That nigga had that mink on. Shit was dragging the floor. He had them glasses on. Nigga smelled like he went to Egypt himself to get the Egyptian musk because it was cutting through the air. I said, he that nigga. You know, that's that nigga. So all the chicks that was at the bar with me and my crew, they bounced just to hang out outside of the VIP. Because Ray, he only let a few people in the VIP. And everybody else was just kind of hanging around like a fishbowl just watching them. And we was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Ray Lewis, that motherfucker immaculate. You know, quick sidebar, Ray Lewis is shorter in real life than he is on TV. Now, I would have thought Ray Lewis was motherfucking, you know, giant. Nah, man, Ray Lewis is really short in real life. Big motherfucker. Wide back, refrigerator back ass nigga. Big shoulder, big chest ass nigga. But yeah, he was really short, man. That was really surprising. But a lot of entertainers are short in real life. You know, I don't know how many concerts guys been to, but guys like DMX is hella short. You know, a few other cats kind of surprised me, man, when I seen them in real life. Like, damn, you niggas is short. Anyway, moving on from that. But yeah, you know, you can't fake it because when you really come around that guy that's really that dude, then you're going to be exposed. So, like I say, man, it's just a confidence that nobody can actually tell you, you know, who you are. You already know. Because you put the work in. And to be honest, man, that's what this is all about. That's the name of the game. You know, putting the work in for you, you know. It never was about putting the work in to get no women. It's just like, you know, look. Obviously, if you're not happy with the women in your lane and that you're exposed to, then yeah, you might want to do something about it. But nah, man, it's about doing it for yourself first. It's about being happy with yourself first. Having a healthy relationship with yourself. You know, you can't buy that. I often tell people, you can't buy that. You know, you can buy people behaviors around you. You know, you can buy a smile on somebody's face. You know, you can buy a woman that's going to do what you tell her to do. But to be honest, man, you can't buy a healthy relationship with yourself, man. And that's really what I'm all about, because it wasn't always like that. You know, I didn't always have a healthy relationship with myself. I've had times where I was into some real self-destructive behavior, man. And that was a show enough sign I ain't give a fuck about myself. Straight up. I had people around me that cared about me more than I cared about myself, man. I had women around me that gave a fuck about me more than I gave a fuck about myself. And that's facts. And that's facts. You know, I can't say that shit enough. I've been there, done that, man. I constantly tell guys, man, I've been in that dark place. You know, I've been in that dark place, man. And I ain't going back for no motherfucker. You know, if I can help it. I do everything I can do every day to keep my mind out of that dark place. You know, and I'm not always successful. You know, but then get up the next day, try it again. Get up the next day, try it again. That's the name of the game. You know, I'm my biggest opponent, man. You know, I'm not in competition with, especially with lesser men. Are you crazy? You know what I'm saying? I can see the competition with guys I respect. I can see competition with guys on my level. I'm definitely not in competition with most niggas, man. Especially if I feel like if you're a lesser man. Niggas, shit, get out of here, man. But my biggest opponent is myself. Try to keep my mind straight, man. My head screwed on straight, man. Name of the game out here. Really controlling your emotions when you on that battlefield. That's all I give a fuck about, man. So yeah, when you notice that you that dude, when you feel like you that nigga, you dig, embrace that shit. Be humble with it, of course, because the same people you see coming up are the same people you see coming down. So you never want to be out here burning bridges, not if you don't have to. But to be honest, man, embrace that shit. Nothing wrong with confidence, man. Nothing wrong with knowing who you are. Nothing wrong with loving yourself, etc. We need more people like that into the world, man. We need more leaders, man. More guys people can really look up to. But you got to start by putting in the work. And what's putting in the work? I don't know. It's going to be different for every guy. That's not a blanket statement. I heard a YouTuber say, well, what is self-improvement for black men? I mean, come on, man. Stop trying to play dumb. That's not a blanket statement, man. It's going to be different for every guy. Check that mirror, man. And when I say check the mirror, first you're going to start with the inside. Then you're going to work your way outside. And when you look in that mirror, you tell me what you see. And if you got any more questions, ask me personally, and I'll tell you what I see. But you don't want to do that, because I'm going to give you a proper appraisal. So let's stop playing dumb out here. Because when I give you an appraisal, it ain't going to be a nice one. I'm going to tell you exactly what I see. Moving on. And it's funny how, a lot of people like to do shit like that. Play these little semantic games and, these little mind tricks and shit. Look, I'm straight down the middle with this shit, dog. I'm straight direct with this shit, dog. I'm not going to play games with you. I'm not going to play games with myself. I'm going to keep it a buck at all times. A lot of conversations with me are very uncomfortable. If niggas don't want to deal with the truth, you don't want to deal with yourself. I've sat on the phone with people or sat in front of people, looked in their eyes when they was telling me about myself and a bunch of negative shit, right? Or at least I perceived it was negative, but I had to stand there and take it and take that ass chewing. Hearing all my flaws repeated over and over again. It was a very uncomfortable feeling. Couldn't get mad. You can't throw up your hands like you want to fight them. You got to embrace that shit and let that be the catalyst for you to get better. That was always my motivation. So the next time that motherfucker see me, they can see the change. They can see the work. And not just me talking about it. Straight up. And not just me talking about it. But anyway, I'm going to stop this video here. Not going to drag it out, man, but just remember, man, there's nothing wrong with being that dude. There's nothing wrong with feeling like you that dude. But you can't fake it. Got to put in the work. Sometimes I'm uncomfortable watching other guys try to be comfortable. I'm like, damn, you making me uncomfortable, man, because that's not even you. Be yourself, man. A certain comfort level really has to come with being that nigga, being that dude. You have to have a calming presence. If you don't have that, then motherfuckers not gonna want to be around you. You're gonna start attracting some real fucked up people in your life. So always remember that, man. When you really that nigga and you really know what you're doing, it comes with a very calming demeanor. A calming demeanor. Because you really know what you're doing. You really know who you are. It's not manufactured. You're not going to have these pockets where you just get nervous. You're not going to have these pockets where you're overwhelmed by fear because you really know who you are. You dig? And that takes time. Ain't no magic pills, dog. Anyway, shout out to the Dime Game Division. Follow C Boogie on Twitter, man. Salute.